possibly there's also some benefit there with OG. We were thinking maybe they wouldn't take it as seriously. They would
chill out.
They have a bit of a
pretty serious draft.
They kind of mess around players. You know, they mess around even when it matters. But no, it does look like a really serious draft. The panel did talk about it. There is a possibility for relegation tiebreakers, although the chance is very slim. It is there, and you know, you may as well just play to like whatever your standard is. Like it's just easy.
Yeah, I'm sure they mentioned it. Well, ultimately, if OG win this, they're not going to be going down. If Lina lose this series, that is it for them.
Yeah, that's it
in this division.
That's it. This is make or break. Yeah. I really like the Tidehunter pick. I think this deals with the silencer really well. You have the silence for the Fiend's Grip, but Tidehunter can kind of just go and ravage everybody, including the silencer, maybe end up killing him off. And then the Fiend's Grip, like the Bane can actually play Dota. I know it's a position 5, but that Fiend's Grip, man, it seems so impactful in a lot of games, even from a position 5. They're about to walk right up.
They are. Lights up. They have the high ground. Set up with the two-man stun. Amar gets him in the anchor smash, and it doesn't look like a light trade. You're going to win this trade at all, as it will be OG taking the 2 kills, despite Alliance holding their position on the high ground and willingly preparing to take that fight. It does not go great for them.
I think you and I have actually seen a similar thing happen right at the start of another game, where a Razor walks in and hits like a 4 or 5 man, what is it called? Plasma field.
Yeah.
One of the better level 1 heroes if there's a lot of people grouped up for an engagement. It's just so much value out of one ability.
Absolutely. Yeah.
2 kills going the way of OG when they were the ones
out of the bounties. Look, we got what 2 for 2 on the bounties.
Yeah, not really what you want when you're the one that's you know, smoking in and heading up to that high ground.
Oh. And yeah, on paper, would you have expected that OG had the better level 1?
Let's see.
Or can you see why Alliance they were confident?
Probably. I mean, both. Tusk is pretty good. You know, both of their level 1s are not that great. I mean, when it comes to 5-manning, I suppose like the Razor's pretty damn good. The silencer though, he had like a 4-man Q. Now he's stuck with this ability for the laning phase, which is a little rough. Normally, you'd like to go for the his Glaives of Wisdom. Just such great harass.
I mean, with the sort of the bottom lane setup anyway, as it is a lane that Amar's going to be pretty safe in.
Yeah, he's totally comfortable. This is a big reason they picked up the Tidehunter. It's one of the classic counters to PA. You're just never really going to do any damage to him in the lane, and you know, as Purge always likes to say, this minus armor or corrosion, it is countered by damage block just based on the way that it works. You'll do virtually no damage to Tidehunter. Even with the glaives, you can see he's doing. Oh no, it doesn't have the glaives, just the cosmetic. See mid lane. Oh man, BZM
he's crushing it.
He's dumpstering this.
And sort of on paper, at least traditionally, it should be a bit easier for the Lina, right, in the matchup, or?
Traditionally, yeah, but you know, I feel like every single time I hear somebody like go against Queen of Pain, they're just wrong. It seems like the type of hero that it just has a way to play any lane. Sometimes you go for points in the dagger and you out harass and you regen, and other times you just go for like a farming build by maxing Scream of Pain, and that's what BCM is doing in this game, maxing Scream. Although, to be fair, he did get 2 assists right to start.
He did.
Start off the game.
That did get that boost.
That definitely helps. Get you closer to your bottle, especially when you're rushing it.
Oh well. Bottom lane, it's doing their best here to try and harass Amar in the laning stage, but yeah, he's able to easily walk it off and creep wave pushing in. It's been a bit of a better position for Leslau.
Ooh, can Taiga get the pull off on the range creep? He can.
Another to the tally.
But no, it gets, yeah, Aramis does the creep pull.
Nice little dodge of the charge. And that's ball, and even with Lesnar coming over, just not having that charge connecting, it's going to make it a little more difficult to actually do anything about Tiger. In fact, Tiger, he's going to look to turn. Same thing for Uragi. Looks to run down Lesnar. Lesnar will have to charge back up in a second, and Uragi knows, so he won't waste any more time chasing him.
That's kind of an ideal situation for Taiga, honestly. You see him jumping into the enemy side. I think maybe he's going to go for the bounty rune, but there's with his creep shenanigans going on top. Aramis is right there. Yeah, I think if you're Taiga, you're totally okay with this trade. You have 2 heroes on the enemy side running at you as a 5. I mean, he's playing Tusk, so, you know, in the safe lane. That's kind of the dream as a support when you're wasting the time of both of the enemy heroes, and you're like, Uragi's just completely free farm here. Although Razor not the greatest at TSing under tower, so he's not, you know, he's doing all right.
Top tower is under
see over towards the mid. Tiger found the opportunity to move the play on a Supreme, and that'll get him. Nothing can be done in time there. Another kill for OG, and with that in mind, things continuing to look favourable for the Quap in that mid lane. Bottom, Mar has been left on his own. OG trying to do the damage as much as he can. And with the jump forward for Nico, baby. And bringing him relatively low, but now the backup is here. Misha will be able to hop out one of them top. Uragi did take down Leslar this time round, as we're seeing. They can't kill Amar, and I think as you were going to mention, a bit of a different early item purchase from him.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great item on Tidehunter.
Yeah.
You know, I've even seen people like rush Satanic. It sounds ridiculous, but Anchor smashing a creep wave or in its team fight with a Morbid Mask, I want to say probably he'll build it into a Vlad's, but this is Amar.
He likes Satanic.
He built Satanic on like every offlaner.
Yeah.
So he might actually go for a Satanic. It is genuinely a good build. It's a next level one. You don't see people doing it that often, but it's a good build. This is a huge double wave. I think you want to pressure under tower here. Yeah, for sure.
And Leslau, no charge available. It's on cooldown. Aramis trying to step over to off up a stun.
Radiant's top
well,
tower is under
how about
attack.
Uragi, and that will actually keep him safe, Leslau. Leslau to live, and with the rotation for Supreme, they might be able to find something in response of OG diving as deep as they were, and they do. They catch Tiger in the trees.
Radiant's
Are able to
top
punish
tower
OG
is
there
under
for that
attack.
move.
Honestly, I think that's good for OG. I mean, you lose a support, but when you have a huge double wave like that under tower, you don't want to just let the enemy team farm it totally for free. Forcing Supreme to make a rotation means that BZM gets some damage on this mid tower with the catapult. So that's one of those things where, like, you do want to force those resources out. You do want to force that rotation.
We'll see this attempted fight here. They're going to take it up to the high ground. Tiger Room with the snowball leads over towards Supreme. BZM jumps up to a distance, hits back with a 3-man Sonic Wave. It's enough to take down Supreme. Leslau charges over. They should lose FNG, but in turn, Misha will go down. 2 for 1. And of course, one that OG's happy to take. Alliance, they don't quite have the firepower to take down Tiger by the looks of it, as the 2 of them will have to split. In fact, Tiger, he's looking to chase, and the snowball he'll be able to bring in BZM, close the gap. Another stun at the ready. BZM will have another blink in a second though, and he's definitely eyeing up this next assassin, and he'll get it. Jumps forward and a quick scream. OG end up claiming a third in that overall move. Bottom lane, Amar TP it away. What? I mean, that was a very ballsy TP there from Amar. Was tanking the tower hits, and unfortunately for him, a little too much damage to withstand. So Amar will get taken down, and of course no TP to get him back to the lane. So good bit of space now for Nico Baby's PA.
Yeah, that's a good heads-up move from Supreme there. I think they needed to make a move like that. It's very different from the move top, which was kind of forced, and the creep wave died to the tower, right? So there's some trade happening there. But Amar just being super out of position, like Supreme punishing that is just, it's just free gold for him. It's giving Nico Baby a better lane, setting him up for success. FNG gets to, you know, take a bit of XP mid. He's gonna go down here, but
the silence is
a lot of the time that does happen whenever you take a lane. There's gonna be a trade, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Misha, he's got stick charges.
Maybe not.
Only just those stick charges saving his life.
Yeah, raindrops are a very OP item. And sword sticks. Lots of pressure on this mid lane.
Yeah, with Tiger, he's looking for the angle, gets the ward down. So we know exactly what's being set up. There's 4 of them though. A nice snowball dodge to start things off, and over to the creep as well. So now 2 deep under the tower. Pops the shards down. Tiger is making them work for it. Will still fall though.
Nice attempt. Lots of people being forced to the mid lane. If you're Alliance, you're pretty okay with this because also on the side of OG, they have a bunch of heroes mid, but Lelis is Spear Breaker, so he can fairly easily get to, you know, wherever the hell that he wants to go. So you're not really ever 4-manning somewhere if you have a Spear Breaker. You're kind of just 3-manning. Same with Nature's Prophet. And as you can see, it's reflected in the gold distribution. Alliance is kind of stabilizing in this game a little bit in the last few minutes.
Yeah, the move to be made to bottom, but Nico Baby knows. Straight away, see been out of this area, then caught it on that sort of bottom river wards. Knew the BZM was starting to swing over, and Nico Baby has no need to be down here anymore.
Yeah, you see this rotation happening a lot with PA. Lately, you show up to the enemy safe lane. Not only does it mean you're not just sitting in your safe lane waiting to die, as you know, this anti-mage type hero that has a super solid timing with that Battle Fury, but Orbit Corrosion, you actually do a decent chunk of damage to towers.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So BZM, he's going to have to pop back for now with a haste rune. Tiger's seeing if they can get a setup to get back in on this. They've caught Aramis. He should be going down. Supreme, not quite able to line anything up to turn and threaten Tiger's life, so it's just another freebie here for OG in the mid.
Yeah, it's a bit of a standoff mid. It looks a little weird. You know, might get flamed in pubs for just sitting mid, but it's one of those situations where like OG's putting pressure on the tower, and as a result, Alliance can't just give them the tower for free, so Alliance has to go there, and then all of a sudden more and more heroes show up, and you basically have this like 4v4 mid, which it looks ridiculous, but if one team leaves, you lose the tower, and then that's a huge detriment to your team.
Sing mid, Tiger, I mean, he's dodging a hell of a lot of abilities here with a snowball. Won't be able to dodge that though. Supreme lays down the Laguna, gets the kill. Top lane Yuragi will force Nico Baby out of this area, so he does have to TP back to base.
Yeah, not exactly the hero that you want to be rotating into with this safe lane rotation. That's the one issue with this. But PA, you also don't want to jungle. But you also can't go mid right now because of the pressure that OG is putting on mid, so he's just walking back up to top. Oh damn, this whole time OG's been pressuring mid, they've actually been stacking as well. It looks like Misha was getting involved with some of that action. Yeah, there he goes. Very nice.
Very solid numbers across the board there. Alliance with only the single stack so far. Top lane, Tiger. This time won't have the snowball to rely on, with the bashes coming out for Leslau. No chance. Tiger gets to escape. Tries his best with the shards. He's into the trees, but he's surrounded.
They give the kill to Nico Baby too. That's really good. I mean, this hero is like one of the slowest farmers up until the point that she gets a Battle Fury with EA. And so giving her any gold towards that is incredibly important. Arguably, I was actually going for a Desolator first.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They really think they need to play for some early timing, which I suppose
Dire's top
Tricore of Tide, Queen of Pain, and Razor. It's pretty early. I mean, they're gonna run at them. He is going for Satanic.
He's going for it.
Okay, this is cool. I've never seen this build in competitive.
Let's look at what kind of classic as well. He's holding on to, I think, 2 skill points at the moment, Amar.
Yeah, he does do that. It's very odd. I'm excited to see this build in competitive, because it's looked really good in pubs from what I've seen.
No worries. Yeah, dead for now, but and once that Satanic's there, it's not going to be an easy one to take down.
You basically get 2 full heals because you pop the Satanic, you Anchor Smash, then the cooldown of Anchor Smash comes off, just as you're at the end of Satanic. And if you hit like 1 or 2 targets, it's a full heal. And Tidehunter obviously is, you know, one of the more unkillable heroes in the game. It makes him a beast. And you become an actual core. You can get like Aghanim Shard eventually, and you're super strong.
Scanning.
There we go, OG. The smoke, they're on the hunt for Nico Baby. They found him. Quick jump to the side. Nico Baby trying to get away from this. Well, FNG's the new focus, but Supreme is pummeling into Tiger. Tiger's able to take down FNG. Nico Baby maybe looking to jump back in with the help of Aramis, but no, he's going to go for Tiger. But for the rest of the team, Tiger will go down. Amar has the Gush lead in onto Supreme, but no further catch. Doesn't want to try and commit with the Ravage. Supreme being at the distance. Yourself for the 1-for-1, and knows you will resume taking down this mid-tier 1 tower. Let's see if Alliance want to do anything about this. Doesn't look to be the case.
Yeah, this was what I was thinking would probably happen at some point, where OG.
Oh, nice deny.
Okay, all right, not bad.
Yeah.
A little bit of gold.
What can you do?
And that tower took so long to go down. Like, there's been just this 4v4 mid lane for the last 10 minutes. Maybe not exactly 10.
Yeah.
FNG uses the global.
Yeah, we still I believe got both sort of his full toolkit out onto BZM, so as the Queen of Pain, he had to back straight off. He couldn't commit.
Yeah.
So yeah, those quick moves from FNG definitely limiting the damage that was to be done against Alliance.
We come back to the immediate grip, and that's what you can do when you force a global out.
Yeah.
That's why I really like the Tidehunter and the Tusk pick, because I feel like it's a way to team fight where you're not countered by global, because you're just right clicks. You have everybody stunned for this duration. A lot of the time you can also hit the silencer. It forces out the global in like a bad situation, and then Bane can just go for the next team fight and
middle tower
grip somebody.
There we go. Charge over. I'll lose Tiger.
Burn, baby, burn.
Nothing more, but Alliance again just sort of banding together to get these punchbacks off against OG. Quick deny of the DD rune, and further the catch from Alliance to jump Misha.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Don't want to give that DD rune to either of the mids, honestly. Both teams have been really good with regards to rune control in this game. Give a Lina or a Queen of Pain a solid rune, and they can just completely take over the game. Like the Queen of Pain with the haste or a DD is just a god for the duration. Honestly, for the duration that they have it in the bottle, that's one of the biggest pain in the asses in Dota currently, is that like if you see an enemy mid that's bottled a rune, it's like, okay, we can't fight, not for the duration of the rune, but for the duration of the rune plus the duration that they're holding it in the bottle. It's just this thing that you have to be worried about. So many teams have been super focused on runes in this tour of DPC.
Radiant are scanning.
Funny how OP the runes used to be, like pre-nerfs, and yet they weren't as respected as they are now. The DDs and the...
Yeah, I mean, is that, what is that sort of knock-on effect of the fact that more mids have bottles because there's like more water runes earlier, so you just get more bottles in the game, so the potential of holding a rune is more likely? I
think it's the fact that the teams have gotten so close in terms of skill, because there's all of these ways to watch replays, and there's so many ways to like learn about the game in DPC. Like the skill level's gotten so close that the things that determine who wins a game are these, like, a lot of the time, these small things, these random things. Sure. The runes, who presses the right button in a team fight. It's very small differences that make a huge snowball effect.
Well, if that's sort of what you're saying, if you're saying teams are close, how much sort of a difference do you think the RNG of neutrals has as an impact?
Pretty big. I mean, it depends on the game. If you're a Bane and you get a keen optic, I mean, or Philosopher's Stone, that's probably the best neutral item to get for like a support in any game. I think that's pretty impactful. But there's enough of them with impact that maybe
the RNG balances.
It balances out to a degree.
Top lane. Finally jump on a Yuragi, but he has a BKB. Nico Baby's trying to finish him off, but he's already starting to lose damage to the static link. Jumps back in again, but he's not going to... fights him with that final crit, but already the damage has been done big time as BZM just swept round to the back lines, blew up the rest of Alliance. As they throw everything in there to try and kill Yuragi, just takes a little too long, losing 4 heroes. And of course, with 4 heroes off the map, OG's got the easy space to step into the Rosh and claim the stages for themselves.
Great job from Misha there, finding the silencer in the fight with the Nightmare, so that way he can actually get the growth buff. He effectively disabled 2 targets in that, or he literally disabled 2 targets in that fight. And that's not easy to do. Like, Silencer can literally sit in the fountain against you as Bane and have still have a profound impact.
Dire's middle tower
So Yuragi going in with the BKB like this forces FNG out of position, where you can go in with the Bane and find him in the back line, get that Nightmare, and then hit the Fiend's grip.
Yeah, so that fantastic angle from BZM hitting that 3-man Sonic Wave right across the fight.
Yeah, he's been hitting big Sonic Waves for the entire game. That's another one of those abilities that, yeah, I mean, hasn't been like hugely buffed.
FNG has got Aramis by his side. We did see that OG weren't able to finish off Roshan. They did back off as Alliance respawn. They got it down to half HP. It's feeling they couldn't quite take it down quick enough with Yuragi out of the game. So the biggest physical hitter right now. Roshan still stands.
They do still have Ravage on OG, so you're fairly comfortable fighting even without the Fiend's Grip, although he has it soon. But yeah, the Fiend's Grip's not a hugely important cooldown.
They'll step back in now. I mean, you just said they've got team fight prepared if Alliance come towards them, and now Yuragi's back in, ready to help them take this down. So we'll still go the way of OG here with the Roshan and the Aegis. Pick that up on Yuragi. Knows that he's going to be the primary focus, as he was last time for Nico Baby. He's going to look to try and burst him with the damage of the Deso.
And Amar, he's got his full Satanic building into Assault Cuirass. Because of being so damn tanky, he can just play directly in the enemy triangle like this. No problems at all. Alliance, though, they're avoiding him, going for the counter smoke into the triangle.
And they got the blink in there from BZM. Alliance well waiting, and they have this setup. They take down BZM.
Very convenient.
Yeah, he was not prepared for that. Blink straight into the center of them as Alliance was set up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that was nice. They did have a couple of wards up scouting out, so they knew that there wasn't exactly a lot of heroes in that triangle. When he blinks in like that, it's like, oh, okay, I'll take it.
Nico Baby, just a recipe away from the BKB. Sure, you still have to be a little cautious of the links, the grips, the Sonic Waves. Something of the FNG, and do a fantastic job of keeping him safe from with a well-timed global.
I suppose another idea behind Nico Baby going for Deso into BKB instead of an AC, or instead of a Battle Fury, is that you have a Lina mid. And so this is going to be, the Gatling gun type Lina that we've seen in almost every game, where like she is kind of the carry, and PA is being played in this game in more of like an early game style, like an Ursa style carry, where you're running around and you're killing people with these early game items and not really caring too much about your farm. And it is being reflected in Nico Baby's gameplay. He's not exactly on the top of the net worth like a Battle Fury PA would be, but he's not doing bad. He's still top of his team. Although Amar, man, he's looking mega unkillable.
Yeah, especially with his armor now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
FNG. We're hunting. Didn't quite find him here, but of course this will be a tier 2 that Alliance won't look to hold. I'll let this one go. Not interested in fighting until Nico Baby has at least his BKB. We'll be there in about a creep's time.
Invisibility.
Mid lane. Setups there with a quick sleep onto the Lina. And mass TP's coming in. He has the BKB Supreme. He's going to go for the BKB TP out with the grips there. Misha puts a stop to his retreat.
And 7 seconds on global silence. Otherwise, I think with that TP, you probably just global and get him out. But just Misha understanding the cooldown of global silence. Lelis goes down for that too. He was trying to save his buddy. Yeah, that's a super heads-up play. I mean, OG are very likely timing global. Bane players, when you play against Silencer, you know you've got that 10-second window where you can grip and he can't global if you use it at the same time in the last fight. So very small window of opportunity, but OG actually able to use it in this case.
Picking up the gem now as well, Misha, to make sure and make this game a little harder for Aramis. Trying to sneak around, and of course the Shadow Blades that he knows going to be coming out. Well, it's already come out, of course, from Lesnar, but also geared up to come out on Supreme. So this earliest gem pickup's going to do a lot against Alliance with the 3 invis that they'll look to play.
Yeah, I like that too in terms of map control.
Middle tower is under attack.
Nico Baby, he's going to commit with the BKB onto Tiger. He's not quite doing enough damage, has to blink back to safety, will live there with the Essence ring that he pops, but the BKB comes to an end. Perfectly timed Ravage there from Amar to catch Nico Baby as his BKB duration ends. FNG tries to TP out, but they see him in the trees. They'll get him as well.
You know, a cool thing here about the Satanic also is it purges the global silence. So in a situation like that, I'm not entirely sure what came out first.
I think the Ravage came out first.
Okay, it doesn't really matter though, because he
could have done it.
He could have just purged it.
Top tower
I think that's a big. I mean, you could still go Lotus Orb, right? But if you have in the back of your mind that you think that this Satanic Tidehunter build is good, and that people just, you know, aren't doing it, and they should, and Amar has a lot of builds that he thinks that about, then why not? Yeah, it came out just before, but
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Like I said, it really doesn't matter. And
no, because if the silence was before,
and if you're FNG, that's probably why you're holding it as well. The BZM is luckily giving a couple of freebies here to Alliance, but this is something that's pretty typical of OG from what we've seen, even in a lot of the games that they've won against the excellent teams in this tour of DPC. They're pretty greedy. Amar especially, like, the thing is, you have BZM dying, but then Amar on the flip side is also a carry. Like, they always play this tri-core sort of setup, and then try to farm more of the map than the enemy team. And sometimes it looks a bit risky, people, you know, dying like that. But when you have tri-core, you can get away with a few of those deaths because there's not that much of a pressure on BZM to be the carry type here. Amar's even topping the net worth.
Let's see what they can get with the Smoke Alliance.
Good lord. Okay, he is just full committing to this carry Tidehunter build. No blink at all.
Nice dodge there, the Vendetta. Tiger, there's a 3-man gang comes for Tiger. Tiger just turns around and kills FMG. They're going to have the TP cancel on Leslau. He'll try his best to charge away, and it looks like he will manage to escape them, but I mean, Tiger, that was a man that was just ganked. He just stands there and takes out one of the three gankers.
Confident, man, confident. I mean, Silencer, very low armor hero against Tusk. He's got also a medallion, so yeah, he's basically one-shotting him with the punch.
Yeah.
And he needs to do that. I mean, the Silencer is so good against Queen of Pain and the Bane that...
See Nico, baby. He's going to turn and take down Tiger, but the Shards have trapped them in. Finally, they'll come to an end. Jump forward with the Sonic Wave. They'll burst through Supreme. And Aramis. Nico Baby's off the side, but Amar's waiting. And he's got the Ravage again. As soon as the BKB ends, Amar ready to lock him down. 4 dead on Alliance. As OG, they're making it look very hard for Alliance. Now we're seeing Alliance trying to make these moves, make these plays. Even there, sort of in Tiger's dying breath, causing issues with the shards that he was able to throw over. And then Amar, he just knew exactly where Nico Baby was going to try and run on his retreat.
He did, yeah. I mean, it looks like oh no, he's got an urn in his quick buy. Oh God, no. All right, mantles. He's going back for the mantles.
Back for the mantles.
We saw that. No, we saw that, dude. Come on. After the drama of Shadow Amulets, I see. Back to the
yeah, he hasn't quite making up his mind here.
No, it looks, I mean, he hasn't made up his mind about his build either. I mean, look at this inventory. Would you think this is a Tidehunter? If you had to guess.
I mean, yeah, but it's looking pretty good.
It looks good. It looks good.
I think this is something you want to try at home if you're a Tide player.
Yeah, this is a build. Like, to be fair, it's like an off-meta thing that only like really intense Tide players will do. But yeah, it is a thing. It's not like this is totally out of nowhere. Almost refresher on Uragi. He just went for a casual plate mail for that armor against PA Desolator, and he's like, yeah, I'll dip back, go for the refresher. Him also, plate mail, gonna die anyway.
Maybe we'll see if they can try and get something more. Take it out the mid. Can they get anything whilst they're at 5 versus 4? Still very hard. Uragi and Amar. Not easy targets to go for. Misha, on the other hand, a little bit of a squishier one. They're going to lead him with the over. OG, they're going to look to stand their ground around that bane. Keep Misha safe. Misha's able to retreat. Supreme. He's in with the BKB. Laguna down onto Tiger. Tries to run him down. Tiger not going to quite get it. Finally falls there as Aramis gets him, but they've lost Supreme's life. Aramis not able to TP out either. As Uragi already has too much damage built up.
It's crazy that they're so confident that they can fight without Ravage or without their mid. It's not an easy thing to read, especially when you have a Tide that does this kind of weird build. Like, reading your power level is difficult. Like, whoever called that was just a good call that they could turn and go back there. Also, I think if Misha doesn't survive like that for that little while, like if he doesn't go for this Ghost Scepter and have a raindrop, then he dies. It's funny how these little micro things matter in Dota. If you don't like fill your inventory with these efficient items, you just get overkill by 50. And then all of a sudden there's like 2 or 3 less spells that need to be committed for you. They can be committed onto other heroes. You get more kills and the whole game can turn.
Dire's bottom tower.
There we go, into the pit once again, OG. Gonna take this all for themselves, and Alliance is not in any sort of shape to come out and fight.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
And there we have it. We'll see the shard is going to go into the hands of Amar. Extra bit of potential to push.
Dire's
take down those towers and buildings.
3-second cooldown on Anchor Smash. That is nuts.
That hurts.
Dire's bottom tower.
So now you get the double satanic Anchor Smash. Very
AC as well.
Yeah.
You're not killing this time.
No.
You're not killing this time.
Fortunately, though, for Alliance, he didn't get the minus 20% Anchor Smash damage reduction talent. Otherwise, these towers would be doing, let's see, how much damage are they doing, right? Instead of doing 72, they would do about...
does it stack?
40. Yeah, it stacks.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
It's like additive, just straight up, it just adds it to the value. 80% damage reduction. That would be nuts.
Tower is under attack.
But still, you know, I think Amar will take literally 0 damage from the tower. Yep, that's 0. Oh no, sorry, he's taking like 3 damage from the tower.
Radiant
but
structures
immediately
are fortified.
healing for it.
That poor old tower just tickling the creeps.
Yeah. I think at this point he could maybe walk into the tier 3s.
And they're going to try and go on him. Oh, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. They're taking him down.
I
don't think Amar was prepared to die that quickly.
Yeah, I cursed him.
Yeah, Alliance, they brought everything onto him. They are able to bring him down without any chance for a reaction under the cover of that global silence. A big kill there for Alliance. They take out the Tide, Amar's gone for a minute, and OG, they'll have to hold back on their plans to push for high ground.
That's crazy. They didn't like break him or anything. They don't have the fan of knives. There's no break. This was just a straight
Just pure damage.
They just put pumping everything into him.
We'll see. I mean, it was sort of the biggest damage dealer out there, so it must be Nico, but he had a few crits in there. He got the 1, he got the 2.
Man, he must
And the Laguna.
he must have been really unlucky with the Kraken Shell procs.
Oh, they just.
Oh, they've Silver Edge on Lina. Okay, see, that's how they got him. That makes sense. Yeah. I was looking at the SB. They have a lot of they actually have a lot of breaks.
They do there. They
eventually
level it up. What with the shard?
SB shard. He can get an eventual Silver Edge. Lina Silver Edge. Fan of Knives on PA, and you know, this was an old patch. Nyx would also have a break.
Ah, yeah. I mean, it's maybe the breaks will be the undoing for Amar.
Maybe. Even then, like...
Oh, that's a big now just comes flying off the screen. Sets up for the 2 kills on Tiger and Misha. Lesnar just out of nowhere, and he's ready for more. Charges over to Uragi. They'll bring him down the once. That's the Aegis gone. BZM is going to jump in on the back lines. This referee with the stuns out. Another charge for Lesnar. BZM's out. And Uragi, he's not got anybody to help him. They'll look to chase him down. He pops the BKB. Lesnar in with the charge. Wants to get offering up that control. Uragi's trying to desperately get away from the 2 of them. Nico maybe will come in. Amar comes in with a Ravage. Holds back the 3 of them. They do turn. Bring down Nico, baby. But yeah, you know that Lesnar's going to keep his eyes open, see if he can find Uragi.
Yeah, he just needs to get vision. But it gets his broke.
Put the setup here, and Uragi's just going to be dealt with straight away by Aramis. And now, breaks in, life stroke rate comes down. Amar, he's got a bit of life still going, but again, he is relatively on his own, looking to knock him back with the old charge over from Lesnar onto the 2 of them. They've got to run. Back up the Invis, but the dust will slow down Supreme. Not enough to stop Tiger from being life stroke rate. And Lesnar he's going to go past the tier 2. Up to Amar. Bullying the Tide back to base. I mean, and just like that, that's quite a big swing back into action there from Alliance, just led by Leslau, just running all over the place and running all over OG.
Yeah, and that all kind of stems from that initial kill onto Amar, where they break him and then kill him on the high ground, resulting in OG being this four-man ball that can be abused. If you see Mars, he's respawning in 12
and just
seconds.
Boom, suddenly Leslau. And
yeah.
I don't think they were ready for that.
I love the build on Lelis too. Going for the Yasha and Kaya. Probably the only hero in the game that I can think of that Yasha and Kaya is actually a good item on.
I mean, we saw the reactions there. I mean, that's
in disbelief.
They would just get permanently bashed around by Leslau. They couldn't even move the whole of OG. Frozen in position.
I think that's right, Alan. Shiva's Guard, very tanky items on BZM. Still seems to just kind of be dying. Like every time the camera goes on him, I'm worried Lelis is going to come charging through when the camera does move towards him. Now Lelis, he's going to be charging up his top. Yeah. Still does not have the Aghanim Shard, opting to go for a BKB instead. He's got the Spirit Breaker colors in his camera on Lelis. Like, he's super
he does actually, doesn't he? Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
He's in the zone. You know, he's got the Yashikar as well. That's the Spirit Breaker colors.
Yeah. You know, Lelis comes from a family of woodsmen. Lumberjacks, yeah.
Oh.
Likes to sit in the trees and not cut them down. He's got a respect for the trees, not into that deforestation.
Yeah, it would be quite something if Spirit Breaker Charge destroyed the trees.
That would be something else for sure.
Or if, like, you not only destroy them, but you pick them up as you pass through, and it builds up to
more and more damage.
Just chucking all these trees on the target.
Yeah, that would be the real bulldoze.
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be
a lot of stuff.
Dig up some of the dirt as well.
Yeah.
You know, create this new path across the terrain for your team to follow.
I think that's accurate. Spirit Breaker's definitely not good enough. He needs to do more. Dude, OG, you can sense that they're...
Just make every tree passes through damage him a little bit. You know,
that's bad.
I give him a cool sound effect so as he comes charging across the map, it's like, ow, 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 ow. That's the balance we need.
Yeah. That's some Homer Simpson shit right there. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, he's easily one-shotting creep waves.
Oh, and we got Uragi. Oh, nice jump from Nico, baby. He's away from the Razor. They didn't have the lockdown, and now the turnaround's in. They turn straight onto Uragi. Uragi's BKB's not going to save it. Uragi's out. BZM jumps over, finds FNG Supreme, keep himself hidden in the trees. Les out in with the charge control. Over on a Meech, they take down the Bane, but they will lose Supreme.
Is that I hear?
2 for 2. See what the plan is here for the reset. Baby still has his BKB good to pop if they want to try and fight.
Lelis just starts jungling.
I mean, Lesnau's going to see the chance to jump over towards BZM. They get the setup and the damage is there for Nico, baby. BZM out. Lions, they are swinging back this game beautifully here. Less than 1k lead now for OG. Pretty back to dead even. Of course, all they've lost themselves was just the range racks mid, that melee racks all still standing. So Alliance in a very good position to continue just turning this game around and getting it under their control.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you do lose the melee racks, I feel like with SB, like we saw him jungling in the middle of that fight. You can kind of just do anything and always get to the fights. Like, he was top lane as this started, and still he can get there. Like, this was without Lelis, and there he is all of a sudden. He was literally just top, TP'd Fountain, and now he's here. Unfortunate for Supreme that he gets caught out in the trees there. Amar kind of sniffed him out, but still, Lelis coming in at the end. Like, he's doing a lot of damage in these fights. He had the second most damage in that fight on his team. Supreme, obviously, you know, coming first. But the charge, when you go for this...
Nice, nearly level 25, Lelis.
25% greater bash damage. That's gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice.
Top tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's doing big damage. It's like burst damage too, right? It's not this damage over time that like Supreme is doing. It's like he charges in and he just hits somebody for 1,000. It's quite a lot. He's going for the Silver Edge. Not much else that he can upgrade. You know, I love that people have started going for the Soul Ring on Spirit Breaker, because I feel like it means you have to go to Fountain less. It's like, instead of charge out, TP home, charge out, TP home, you can just charge. And you save gold on TPs, and it also means you can clear more creep waves.
Dire are scanning.
I mean, you just said, would you not like to see him pick up the shard before he upgrades the Shadow Blade?
You know...
For the value, or?
I think it's like, it's close.
I guess he's got other breaks, right? I mean, I guess that's the thing at this stage.
Yeah, it's close. It's close.
Yeah.
I think he's getting enough gold from these creep waves that he can probably go for the greedier item first, which would be the Silver Edge.
Yeah.
It'll probably give him more damage. More uptime on the invis too. So...
Yeah, that's always nice.
But it's like, he's gonna get both, for sure. Yeah, this game doesn't get any easier for OG, I'm pretty sure. Like,
you're against a stacked PA, right? And Lina, like, these two sort of carries feel like they're just going to outscale whatever you have on OG right now.
Bro, I feel like late game too, like SB is a menace. He's a menace.
3 cores of Alliance, they're going to do damage that I don't think OG's heroes are going to be able to keep up with.
I'm almost the most scared of Spirit Breaker. He's just such a pain in the ass to deal with. You never have creep waves good. Like, look how far pushed out this bottom creep wave is. None of the OG creep waves are in a good position.
Tower is under attack.
Invisibility.
One thing that Aoi always says that I really like is the way that you can determine where you're allowed to play in Dota is you draw a line between the creep waves on the map. And that's like where you feel comfortable playing. And with the Spear Breaker, that line is always really goddamn close to your base. And this late in the game, the guy's got a BKB, he's got a Silver Edge, he's got 80% status resistance. In the Bulldoze, it's 80%, right? 70% still. You're not dusting him. There's absolutely no way. Yeah, it's really difficult to deal with. And then also the BKB piercing disable in the fights.
Oh, Nico, baby. He's going to commit for Tiger. He's in. The Ravage comes down from above. Catching the three of them in the backline. The starting ways over there. Burns through Supreme and then Benji. Silence comes out for now. Nico, baby, having to back off though with his BKB on cooldown, and the damage will be there without coming to an end. OG, they'll happily turn and take the fight. Their alliance, they chose to initiate it there without jumping onto Tiger. Does not go great for them at all. Amar gets him with a fantastic Ravage. The turnarounds there. And OG, they're back in position to get themselves yet another Roshan.
Yeah, that is 2 cores dead. No buyback. 80 seconds.
I guess you're sort of falling for the bait there, going a little too heavy in onto Tiger. Once he was in that position where it was heavily likely that there would be backup waiting on that high ground around this Roshan area.
Yeah, great Ravage from Amar. I suppose you like don't expect him to have a blink at this point just because
of his build.
Because of his build, yeah. So he finally comes in with the blink.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you have your 2 most important heroes not to get caught out. Right at the start. And they're definitely burstable. For sure. Lelis is really the only core to survive here, which means he can clear some waves. He is trying to cut the wave here.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
because the cores don't have buyback.
That's going to be pretty big in terms of what OG's able to do to the base. They should at least be able to finish off 1 set of racks, maybe even 2. Or 20 seconds of no Supreme, no Nico, baby. Top rack's gone for sure. OG this time successful with the high ground siege.
Dude, Amar's going for Monkey King bar. He went the 50% chance of Anchor Smash on attack talent. So he is really going for this right click.
He's going to have that attack speed with the AC, the MKB.
Yeah. I mean, I guess somebody else can take the gem. Oh my god, God knows he's gonna take the leveler. Oh yeah,
get that attack speed up even higher.
Yeah. I would be very, oh yeah, there he goes. I'd be very impressed if he gave that to Uragi.
Uragi's got money as well. I think he needs to start screaming at Uragi to get him a moonshot. And we've got to get this tied attack speed to the max.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to get a read on the game and like who wins late game when
you got the tide with these items.
When the tide is these items.
Is this tide just gonna outdo everything? The problem is, right, he can still be burst. The break we've seen, if they can fully commit onto Amar, we'll kill him. But if they don't, maybe he just outcarries anything that the Alliance have.
Yeah, it's funny, he seems like the most important hero. I mean, Tidehunter late game is generally pretty damn good just because the double Ravage, especially with the stun duration talent, it's like, it's too much disable, and disables are always scaling because they give you more time for your scaling damage heroes to do the damage. However, in this game, Amar is a scaling damage hero as opposed to this teamfight stunner. He's a bit of both. Like, you don't see this Tide build too often, so I actually I'm not sure how he would do in a 1v1 versus the PA, for example.
Dire's top tower
is the Anchor Smash on attack? Is it really that strong for carry? We'll see, hopefully.
Scanning.
There's a jump. They get the jump. Straight away on the Supreme. They look to focus the lead that they've got it. Supreme does have buyback. So if he uses it over in the trees, they also catch out FNG. Now, FNG does not have the means to return to the game. He is gone for 70. No buyback for the Silencer, so no potential global to threaten OG here. Is OG.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Now let's finish off the final set of racks.
Radiant's bottom tower.
See what Alliance can do. Leslie toying with the idea of getting into there. BKB's off in time. Yuragi turning with a refresh, getting the ultimate off. Jump up to the high ground. They're looking to get it onto Supreme. Supreme's away. Or at least trying to with the infinite, but they're running him down. They take him out. Supreme, he's out for good. Nico Baby was able to get over the back lines, and they take out the two supports of OG. And Lesnar trying to go for BZM. He's going to need Nico Baby's help out. They want to try and turn a commit. Nico Baby able to dodge the Sonic Wave, but Lesnar not as much. The Sonic Wave clips him. Lesnar goes down. OG. Looking for Nico Baby. The buyback comes in. Quick jump stun. Aramis is able to catch BZM. The ult from Lesnar, but they've taken out the quad. BZM will buy back straight away though. Link forward, Jiragi closes in, but Aramis has got buyback as well. Nico Baby back over towards the tide, but it's hard to punch into him.
Nico's doing literally 0 damage. That was a crit, and it looked like nothing.
Actually, OG, they've committed 2 buybacks, so they want to end the game.
Radiant's middle tower.
Do so while Supreme's out for 70.
Radiant's middle tower.
Lesnar's going to try and stop this. We've got FNG back in action with the global. Nico Baby commits. Aramis lines up the 2-man stun. They're in on a BCM. They bring him down. That's BCM out for 2 minutes. Charge over onto Misha. They've caught the bait. Misha goes to buy some time. Nico Baby's trying to split away from Yuragi in the standing Kamar. He's just trying to end the game. He takes out the tier 4.
Oh my god.
He's just looking to close it up. Alliance, they've got 4 heroes alive, but can they stop this time? They force him off to the side. Nico Baby commits with the BKB. They get him up towards the fountain. The breaks in. The old knockback. Yuragi, he's going to take over, trying to end it all. As a mine goes down, Yuragi looks to close it. He'll be able to do so. GG is called. OG will close.